Hare Krishna. Welcome to everyone for the Transcendental Amrut Vani program. His Grace Rupavilas Prabhuji will be giving his transcendental words of wisdom. Before that, Bhakta Rameshwar Nayak Prabhuji will be reading the Nama Amrita. Hare Krishna. Welcome to everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Rameshwar Nayak Prabhuji, kindly start reading.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmritam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.28.44. One should not merely chant in a secluded place and fall down, but should preach. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur sings. Dushta mana tumi किसेर वैष्णवा प्रतिस्थार तारे निर्जन घरे तवे नाम केवल कैटवा. My dear mind, what kind of a Vaishnava you are? What kind of a Vaishnava are you? Simply for false prestige and material reputation, you are chanting Krishna in a solitary place. In this way, people who do not preach are criticized. There are many Vaishnavas in Vrindavana who do not like preaching. They chiefly try to imitate Haridasa Thakura. The actual reason of their so-called chanting in a secluded place, however, is that they sleep and think of women and money. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.29b. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now read 43 verse and 44th verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is connected with this. 7th canto, 9th chapter. Read the translation. Only translation. Yeah, this translation.
Translation. Best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of the material existence. For whatever I stay, I am fully absorbed in thoughts of your glories and activities. My concern is only for the fools and rascals who are making elaborate plans for material happiness and maintaining their families, societies, and countries. I am simply concerned with love for them.
Text number 44.
Yes. My dear Lord Narasimhadeva, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance, not caring for the big cities and towns. They go to the Himalayas or forest to meditate with vows of silence, Maunavrata. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Purport. Read the purport.
Purport. This is the decision of Vaishnava, the pure devotee of the Lord. For himself, he has no problems, even if he has to stay in this material world, because his only business is to remain in Krishna consciousness. The Krishna conscious person can go even to hell and still be happy. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj said, Naivo Dvije Paraduratyaya Vaitaryaneha. O best of the great personalities, I am not at all afraid of material existence. The pure devotee is never unhappy in any condition of life. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 6.17.28. Narayana Parasarve Na Kutaschana Vipyati, Swarga Pavarga Narakeswa, Api Tulyartha Darshinaha. Devotees solely engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planets, liberation, and the hellish planet are all the same. For such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. For a devotee being situated in the heavenly planets and being in the hellish planets are equal. For a devotee lives neither in heaven nor in hell, but with Krishna in the spiritual world. The secret of success for the devotee is not understood by the karmis and jnanis. Karmis therefore try to be happy by material adjustment, and jnanis want to be happy by becoming one with the Supreme. The devotee has no such interest. He is not interested in so-called meditation in the Himalayas or the forest. Rather, his interest is in the busiest part of the world, where he teaches people Krishna consciousness. The Krishna consciousness movement was started for this purpose. We do not teach one to meditate in the secluded place just so that one may show that he has become very much advanced and may be proud of his so-called transcendental meditation, although he engages in all sorts of foolish materialistic activity. A Vaishnava like Prahlad Maharaj is not interested in such a bluff of spiritual advancement. Rather, he is interested in enlightening people in Krishna consciousness, because that is the only way for them to be happy. Prahlad Maharaj says clearly, Nanyam Tvad Asya Saranam Brahmato Anupasyan. I know that without Krishna consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. One wanders within this universe, life after life. But by the grace of a devotee, a servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one can get the clue of Krishna consciousness and then not only become happy in this world, but also return home back to Godhead. That is the real target in life. The members of the Krishna consciousness movement are not at all interested in so-called meditation in Himalayas or the forest, where one will only make show of meditation, nor are they interested in opening many schools for yoga and meditation in the cities. Rather, every member of Krishna consciousness movement is interested in going door to door to try to convince people about the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita as it is, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. That is the purpose of Hare Krishna movement. The members of Krishna consciousness movement must be fully convinced that without Krishna, one cannot be happy. Thus, the Krishna conscious person avoids all kinds of pseudo-spiritualists, transcendentalists, meditators, monists, philosophers, and philanthropists. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Shri Shri Radharas Bihari Bhagwan ki jai, Lalita Sakhi Vishakha Mata ki jai, Giriraj Govardhan Maharaj ki jai, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Gauram Nitai Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Samved Bhaktavrind ki jai, Padmini Ekadashi ki Vrat ki jai, Adhik Maas ki jai, Samved Bhaktavrind ki jai, morning chanting program ki jai. So, very nicely, the words are repeated again and again in our acharyas. If we go and see in the life of Radhanath Maharaj left at very early age from his house, and he went throughout the world in search of Lord. Throughout the world. And later he went even in Himalayas. He stayed in Himalayas. He meditated. He learned the yoga process. In yesterday's lecture, I was learning that in 1984, Radhanath Maharaj had went to learn yoga. Iyengar, before Patanjali, the Iyengar yoga, that person was very famous, very, very famous. And after 20 years, Maharaj met in around 2020. And they both were met. And Radhanath Maharaj asked, "Do you remember me?" So that yoga teacher, who was very famous, South Indian, he says, "Yes, I remember you." You came in 1984. We stayed for one week, and I taught you about all the yoga systems. And even today, you are, doing this. Very nice. But you went ahead. The yoga teacher says you went ahead, and you actually, I am being in from a Ramanujacharya. I stuck up to the yoga system, and you achieved the yoga goal. Huh? That is the bhakti. And he told that the meditation, when we do the pranayam is done to control the mind. And then pranayam, then asana are done for, you can say, subduing the senses. That is the main reason for what we do the asanas. Mind control is done through pranayam. But after that, we have to do pratyaha, means do not give more and more to our senses. We have to reduce all the sensitivity. Then pratyahar, then dhyana, dharana, samadhi has to be done on the form of Vishnu. So he told that I'll make a core yoga book where ultimate aim of the yoga is to do dhyana on Vishnu and come to the level of samadhi. And that can be easily achieved by the bhakti yoga, and that you have done. And Raghunath Maharaj was praising him, and he was praising him. And he was 90 years old at that time. But then also he was looking young. So he told that yoga, it's okay yoga, but it is only up to bodily level. But after that, for the spiritual portion, one has to come to the level of bhakti. Otherwise, it's not possible. So so-called meditation or so-called, like here in the shloka, Prahlad Maharaj says, Prayana Deva Munya, Swamukti Kamana. They have only Swamukti Kamana. Maunam Charanti Vrajena, Na Parartha Nishtha. They do not have any Nishtha in Parartha Artha. And that is what is Lord himself says in the Bhagavad Gita, that those who do not preach, they are not very so much dear, but those who preach this message of Bhagavad Gita are very, very dear to me. And that is what is our goal of life. And that is what is Hare Krishna movement. Jivana sartha kare, kara parupkar. And that's why meditating in one place and not doing services, only doing devotion and not doing services, devotion service, which we call bhakti, means devotion service, We have to engage, and that devotion service will be done very nicely if we do proper chanting, without any aparadhas. From Nam Abhasa to Nam, first is Nam Aparadha, then Nam Abhasa, and then Shuddha Nam. This is how one has to go. But this has to be done so that we can preach others and we can pass on the bhakti to others. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Today is Padmini Ekadashi, and on Padmini Ekadashi day, like on Nirjala Ekadashi, we do fasting and night jagran. The same is expected by the Lord on this day. And whatever past sinful things are there, or whatever aparadhas are there, this Ekadashi has the power to nullify everything. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.